Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam Stuti series. Today we're beginning a new Stuti, Dhruva Maharaj from Canto 4. So we'll begin with the first shloka today, which is shloka number 6 of chapter 9, Canto 4. Dhruva Uvacha
Dhruva Uvacha
Yontaf Pravishya Mama Vachamimam Prasuptam
Yondav Pravishya Mama Vachamimam Prasuptam
Sanjeevayatyakilas Shaktidharasvadhamna
Sanjeevatyakila Shaktidharaswadhamna
Anyamscha Hastacharana-shravanatwagadi
Anyacha Hasta Charanashravanatwagati
Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam.
Prana Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam.
Word for word meaning translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Dhruva Uvacha.
Dhruva Uvacha
Dhruva Maharaj said,
Dhruva Maharaj said,
Yaha,
Yaha,
the Supreme Lord who,
the Supreme Lord who,
Antaha,
Antaha,
within,
within,
Pravishya,
Pravishya,
entering,
entering,
Mama,
Mama,
my, Vacham,
Vacham,
words,
words,
Imam,
Imam,
all these, Prasuptam,
Prasuptam,
which are all inactive or dead,
which are all inactive or dead,
Sanjeevayati,
Sanjeevayati,
rejuvenates,
rejuvenates,
Akhila,
Akhila,
universal,
universal,
Shakti,
Shakti,
energy,
energy,
Dharaha,
Dharaha,
possessing,
possessing,
Swadhamna,
Swadhamna,
by his internal potency,
by his internal potency,
Anyancha,
Anyancha,
other limbs also,
other limbs also,
Hasta,
Hasta,
like hands,
like hands,
Charana,
Charana,
legs,
legs,
Shravana,
Shravana,
ears,
ears,
Twak,
Twak,
skin,
skin,
Adin,
Adi,
and so on,
and so on,
Pranan,
Prana,
life force,
life force,
Namaha,
Namaha.
let me offer my obeisances,
Let me offer my obeisances,
Bhagavate,
Bhagavate,
unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
Purushaya,
Purushaya,
the Supreme Person,
the Supreme Person,
Tubhyam,
Tubhyam,
unto you.
unto you.
Translation. Dhruva Maharaj said,
Dhruva Maharaj said,
My dear Lord,
my dear Lord,
you are all powerful.
you are all powerful.
After entering within me,
After entering within me,
you have enlivened all my sleeping senses,
you have enlivened all my sleeping senses,
my hands,
my hands,
legs,
legs,
ears,
ears,
touch sensation,
touch sensation,
life force,
and
especially my power of speech.
especially my power of speech.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
So Prabhupada has written a long purport to this. So we'll go over the purport. Dhruva Maharaj could understand very easily the difference between his condition before and after attaining spiritual realization and seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. So first, let's understand the context in which this entire stuti is taking place. In the previous chapter, the 8th chapter, Dhruva Maharaj has left his house to go to the forest. And how did it all begin? It began with his stepmother, Suruchi, telling him that he's not qualified to sit on his father's lap because he never came from her womb. And Suruchi also gives him an instruction. She says, if you deserve to sit on the lap of my husband, your father, then first of all, you should look for a birth from my womb. And to do that, you have to perform severe austerities. And if you want to become a king like your father, essentially she's saying, it is my child that will take over the kingdom. It will not be you. So she is instructing Dhruva Maharaj that first of all, that Dhruva should learn how to please the Supreme Lord Narayana. And then when he is favored by Narayana, she said, next birth you will come into my womb, don't worry. Then you will have a chance at the kingdom. So Dhruva Maharaj was not happy when he heard this suggestion. So immediately he went crying to his mother. And Suniti tried to console him. And although she was grieving that her son was so hurt, she also said, actually, whatever your stepmother Suruchi spoke, you have to do that. So essentially, she also encourages him. She said, you should not worry about harsh words. There may have been a reason for that happening to you. So yes, you should worship the Supreme Lord. And to which she asks, where is the Supreme Lord? And she says, well, I have heard that he resides in the forest because that's where all the sages go to meditate. So after he's meditating, Narada Muni comes to give him instructions, actually first to discourage him. But what we understand from this entire Dhruva Maharaj's pastime is the will and determination of Dhruva Maharaj. He's just 5 or 6 years old, and see how determined he is. Even if Narada Muni says, go back, this is not the right time or the age, your parents are worried about you. He says, no, I want to find the Supreme Lord. And what's fascinating here is Dhruva Maharaj is not seeking to go to the forest to achieve Brahman realization. He had a material desire. And here Prabhupada is saying, Dhruva Maharaj could understand the difference before he saw the Lord and the Lord touched him. And after the Lord touched him, what happened to him? Sudden spiritual realization. Until then, Dhruva Maharaj was interested in achieving a bigger kingdom than his father and his grandfather, Swayambhuva Manu. But it is only the mercy of the Lord that allowed him to have that realization that what I am seeking and what is here before me, there's such a vast difference. So Dhruva Maharaj could not have glorified the Lord without the Lord actually leaning over to touch him with his conch shell. So Prabhupada is beginning by saying Dhruva Maharaj could understand very easily the difference between his condition before, meaning before the Lord touched him, and after attaining spiritual realization and seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. He could understand that his life force and activities had been sleeping. Actually, the vast majority of the population in this universe is sleeping. The soul is in deep coma. It has not been awakened to Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada says, unless one comes to the spiritual platform, his bodily limbs, mind, and other facilities within the body are understood to be sleeping. Unless one is spiritually situated, all his activities are taken as a dead man's activities or ghostly activities, which means it is like you're like acting like a zombie. If you have not reached that stage of Krishna consciousness, then everything that you're doing is just an illusion, in the sense that you're living a ghostly life. Nothing matters to you other than your sense gratification. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has composed a song in which he addresses himself, "O living entity, get up. How long shall you sleep on the lap of Maya? Now you have the opportunity of possessing a human form of body. Now try to get up and realize yourself." This is a very nice song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. The Vedas also declare, get up, get up. You have the opportunity, the boon of the human form of life. Now realize yourself. These are the Vedic injunctions. Dhruva Maharaj actually experienced that upon enlightenment of his senses on the spiritual platform, he could understand the essence of Vedic instruction, that the Supreme Godhead is the Supreme Person. He is not impersonal. Dhruva Maharaj could immediately understand this fact. He was aware that for a very long time, he was practically sleeping. So this very long time includes all his previous births, because he is at a very tender age in this life. He was aware that for a very long time, he was practically sleeping, and he felt the impetus to glorify the Lord according to the Vedic conclusion. A mundane person cannot offer any prayer or glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he has no realization of the Vedic conclusion. That means to glorify the Lord, you have to have realized yourself and realized the Lord also. So Dhruva Maharaj did not realize the Lord until the Lord touched him. Therefore, when Dhruva Maharaj found this difference within himself, he could immediately understand that it was because of the causeless mercy of the Lord. What changed? The Lord's darshan and the Lord's touch. These are the only two things that completely changed Dhruva Maharaj's consciousness. Until then, he was actually meditating for a materialism, not because he was pursuing the path of Brahman realization. He offered obeisances to the Lord with great respect and reverence, completely understanding the Lord's favor was upon him. This spiritual enlivenment of Dhruva Maharaj's senses and mind was due to the action of the internal potency of the Lord. That is the Yogamaya Shakti. In this verse, therefore, the word Swadhamna means by spiritual energy. Spiritual enlightenment is possible by the mercy of the spiritual energy of the Lord. So unless the spiritual energy of the Lord has touched you, how can you practice Krishna consciousness? The chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is first addressed to the spiritual energy of the Lord, Hare. This spiritual energy acts when a living entity fully surrenders and accepts his position as an eternal servitor. When a person places himself at the disposal or order of the Supreme Lord, that is called Sevon Mukha. At that time, the spiritual energy gradually reveals the Lord to him. The Lord says to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachan. If you become my instrument, then everything will be all right. But the Lord also gives Arjuna a choice in the 18th chapter. Tata ichhasi, yatha ichhasi tata kuru. After saying everything, Krishna said, I have answered all your questions. Now do as you see fit. So only when we place ourselves at the disposal of the Supreme Lord, Prabhupada says, that is called Sevon Mukha, meaning we are ready to follow the Lord's instructions. Without revelation by the spiritual energy, one is unable to offer prayers glorifying the Lord. Any amount of philosophical speculation or poetic expression by mundane persons is still considered to be the action and reaction of the material energy. When one is actually enlivened by the spiritual energy, all his senses become purified, and he engages only in the service of the Lord. So those who are engaged 24/7 in the service of the Lord are so fortunate to have that opportunity. So Prabhupada is saying, at that time, his hands, legs, ears, tongue, mind, genitals, everything engaged in the service of the Lord. Such an enlightened devotee no longer has any material desires, nor has he any interest in being materially engaged. This process of purifying the senses and engaging them in the service of the Lord is known as bhakti, or devotional service. In the beginning, the senses are engaged by the direction of the spiritual master and Shastra. And after realization, when the same senses are purified, the engagement continues. The difference is that in the beginning, the senses are engaged in a mechanical way, but after realization, they are engaged in spiritual understanding. I was listening to a lecture of His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj earlier this morning on this particular shloka. Maharaj was saying, the most important instruction for us in this shloka is to have the spiritual willpower and the spiritual determination to make progress, to practice bhakti. So here the Dhruva Maharaj is saying, my dear Lord, you have awakened me. Until then, he acknowledges that he was completely under the control of Mayadevi. And two things Maharaj was saying in that lecture, a very beautiful lecture actually. So many wonderful points Maharaj makes in that very short lecture. So Maharaj says, when we are in the material world, it's all about satisfying ourselves. We are not seeking to realize Brahman. But even to achieve a material goal, Dhruva Maharaj was so determined. He understood that if I have to get a larger kingdom than my father and my grandfather, then I have to make an effort to see the Lord and ask him for this favor. So he understood that his effort was necessary, even to achieve a material desire. But you also need the mercy of the Lord, even if your material desire needs to be fulfilled, then that also is dependent on the mercy of the Lord. And Maharaj was explaining very beautifully that mercy does not mean I don't have to do anything. Oftentimes people think, oh, everything is in the Lord's hands. Why should I worry? If I'm meant to, sometimes when you do book distribution, some people will say, well, if I'm meant to read the Bhagavad Gita, I'm sure the Lord will let me know sometime. So, mercy does not mean that the Jivatma is sitting idle and simply waiting and expecting the mercy of the Lord. Maharaj was saying that mercy means I have qualified myself to get the mercy of the Lord by doing something. And this doing something for Dhruva Maharaj was the 6 months of intense practice, yoga practice in the forest. So mercy means we have to do something to qualify ourselves to receive the Lord's mercy. That means to serve the Lord, you must first qualify yourself. So there is a saying, Maharaj was saying that, there is a saying in English, do your best, the Lord will do the rest. Well, that's like saying the Lord is your order supplier. Maharaj was explaining that you have to do better than your best to get the Lord's mercy. Mercy is required to perform devotional service. So Dhruva Maharaj followed Surichi's instructions, his own mother Suniti's instructions. He followed Narad Muni's instructions. He followed instructions. This is the most important message here for us. If we're not ready to follow Vaishnava instructions, how will you extract the mercy of the Lord? Even karmis can give you instructions that is actually coming from Guru only, but through a karmi's mouth. So the mercy of the Lord is required to perform devotional services. Being awake spiritually means you are fully alive. Until then, you are a walking dead, as Prabhupada says. So essentially, we need intense will, even if it is material will to achieve a material goal. That same will, if it is dovetailed with the Lord's instructions, then that makes everything sublime. Maharaj was saying in the material world, we think we are the doer. But when it comes to devotional service, we don't think anymore that we are the doer. We simply think, I am an instrument in the hands of my Guru, in the hands of senior Vaishnavas, in the hands of the Lord. So essentially, we have to exercise our free will, whatever minute free will that we have, to dovetail it with the Lord's desire and will. Our original rasa, I was hearing another lecture also this morning, our original rasa is to serve and please the Lord. And that original rasa is revived, fortunately for all of us, when some devotee came into our life and either invited us to the temple, invited us for a festival, gave us prasadam, distributed a book, kept a book in our hand. So this is how our spiritual awakening begins. And here, Dhruva Maharaj is acknowledging that he has been spiritually awakened and he's fully realized now after taking darshan of the Lord, and the Lord has personally touched him.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.